Hello my sweet friends, welcome to DIY with Nadia and welcome to Centerpiece Sunday. Today's centerpiece is going to be a deco mesh and ribbon centerpiece with a beautiful bow in the center, and this can also double as a swag or a wreath. The base of the centerpiece is a 5-gallon or 21-inch paint stir stick that I got at my local hardware store, and it makes for a perfect centerpiece on your coffee table or on your dining room table. It's beautiful, it's big, it makes a statement, or you can just hang it on your front door. Let's get started. To start our centerpiece, here are the basics that we're going to need. I'm going to be using a 5-gallon mixing stick, and these come in a set of 3 from Home Depot. I'm going to be using some mesh tubing, some deco mesh, and some tule, and then of course pipe cleaners. One of the best things about using a stir stick for this project is this groove right here. If you ever want to hang it, just grab a piece of wire in the back. Make sure one end is shorter, one end is longer. Do a few twists, nice and tight, right in the center. Here is your loop, and then here we're going to twist the ends. And then what I like to do is when you have it like this, we're going to go the opposite way. One going this way, one going that way, and it locks it in place. So I'm going to do that right now. And there you go, you have a hanging loop. You can make it smaller, bigger. I just want it to be long enough to show you. All right, I'm going to turn this around, and now we're going to put our pipe cleaners on. We're going to do one at the top, and you could just give it one nice twist or 2 twists, going about 2 inches apart. We're going to go to the next section, find our middle, and then we're going to twist it on one side. Then another one is going to go right next to it, but we're going to twist it on the other side. And I like to point these up, the ones that are single and the ones that are double to the sides. That way you can tell what's going on. Another 2 inches, we're going to have a single, point that up. We have 9 sections right here. We have 5 of them facing up, and then we have 4 sets right here going down. Altogether, I used 13 pipe cleaners, and if you're going to use a pipe cleaner to hang it, it's going to be 14 that you're going to need. Next, I put a dot of hot glue in the middle of each section just to secure it in place. This is an extra step. You don't have to do it, but for me, I like to, just to make sure that it doesn't move on me. The endings are the most important, because if you don't have those hot glued on, they can potentially just slide off. And of course, we don't want that, especially if we're hanging this. Now it's time for all our mesh. I'm going to put my deco mesh underneath. Next, I have my tule, and then we have our mesh tubing. About 1 inch in, I'm going to bring everything together, and now we can get started. I'm going to start on the end right here, secure it in place, give it a good twist or 2. Now it's time to make our first loop, and you can make it as small or as big as you want. My loop right here is about 9 inches. And of course, I want it facing out. Give it 2 twists. The first thing we're going to do is go around. So we're going to loop on all the doubles right here, all the ones that are flat on our table. Then we are going to make a loop on top. Then we're going to go back the other way. And then we're going to go on top. So we're going to make a circle and then go straight on top. The nice thing about this type of wreath or centerpiece is this is freehand. If the loops look good to you, go ahead, that's what you do. If they look too small, change that. If they look too big, change that. One side is done, so I'm going to make a loop at the end right here. We we are done with the first part, and we have the elegance of the pink on the outside. On the inside, we need to focus on covering the board. So just as I said, we're going to go around, and then we're going to go in the middle, and we're going to go in the middle with these three. You're not going to need the full roll, so if you want to, you can unroll the roll and just cut it in half and then do it. If you want to do that, we're going to start with the pink, and then we're going to go on with the two whites. I did change to Deco mesh because this stuff is just so glittery. I have glitter everywhere on my table. All right, now I'm going to scrunch it up, grabbing my mesh tubing, putting that in the middle. We're going to make the first loop or the first bubble, and I'm not going to make this one too big because I don't want to overshadow this too much, the one we have already. And because I want to make it just a little bit more fuller, I'm going to make more loops going back, and that'll be it for us. But first, I'm going to make one loop here at the end, and then we're going to go back down. For our last loop, I'm going to see how much I want. And then, of course, cut a little longer, and you're definitely going to have a mesh left over. But eventually, we're going to do some project with leftover mesh. I just don't have enough to do it because I measure out everything I do pretty much. Now you can open these up if you wish. I'm just going to be opening up the white. I'm not going to be touching the pink. It's going to fill in all those empty spaces, and that's the reason we have two layers. Now we're going to go in the 5 spots where the pipe cleaners were pointing up, and we're going to make little ribbon bundles. And I like doing these at 9 inches. You can do as small or as big depending on what kind of mesh you're using. It just depends on what you're doing. Mine would look perfect 9 inches. It's a wire ribbon, so I'm just going to go back and forth. This ribbon is 25 feet, so I'm going to have enough to do 4 bundles on the outside, and in the middle, I'm going to try to make a bow with what's left of this ribbon. Now we'll just make all the dovetails here. Let's do the last one together. Just crisscross them, wiggle them in, and put them on the last 2 right here on both ends. And this is the time where you start hiding the pipe cleaner. Give it 2 twists, and then just hide the pipe cleaner somewhere in the back. And this ribbon does have wire, as you can see, and it will lay any way you want it to. And now we're going to make the bow for the center. For this bow, I will be using a bow maker. If you're interested in one, I will link it in the description box below. They should not be over $12, and you know, they're not that expensive. And they do make life so much easier when making bows. All right, so I have my pipe cleaner right in between the 2 dowels that I have set up here. I decided I want my tail to be 6 inches. And then here we're going to twist because we want the pretty print to be on the outside. We're going to twist, and first I'm going to make these bigger 5-inch loops. So I'm going to make 4 of those. And now we're going to twist, and I like to kind of push these aside when I'm going down a size. And then I'm going to maybe do 3.5. So it's significant enough where you're going to notice it. And we're going to make, you know what, let's just make them 3. And then, as I said, every loop you're going to make, you're going to twist, twist, and then we have our tail. If you want tail on both sides, because this is a centerpiece, that's fine. Measure off 12 inches. I'm sneaking it in. There you go. I just snuck it at the bottom. And that's the nice thing about having this. You could definitely do that. All right. Now we have our pipe cleaner. Hold it tight right here in the center. There you go. Now we're going to squeeze it down. A few tight twists. I'll do one more twist in the back. And we're ready to attach. Tie it nice and tight. You can also, while you're back here, hide all of these, all the side ones. I'm just going to fold them back and put them underneath. All right, and now we're going to take this flat little bow and we are going to open it up. This is going to be beautiful. Make sure our tails are facing the sides. These sweet little 3-inch loops are so cute. You can definitely leave it as is, especially that the pipe cleaner is white, matching the bow, but I can't because you still can't see the pipe cleaner. So I'm going to grab these little daisies from the Dollar Tree, and these daisies really tie in the dark pink, which is in the mesh, and the light pink that is on the ribbon right here in the flowers. And I'm just going to hot glue a daisy right there on the sides. You can also do maybe like a little, I don't know, if you like glam, maybe do a little crystal or something like that. Going to do a few in the center so it looks bigger, and then single ones on the sides. It'll be proportionate that way. Just hot glue. Going to hot glue these together first, and then I'm just putting it straight in the center.